Have you ever felt like being the good guy keeps getting you stepped on, passed over for promotions, used by friends, or ignored in relationships? You're not alone. The truth is, the world doesn't reward good people. It rewards effective ones. In this video, we'll uncover the brutal wisdom of Niccolò Machiavelli and why trying to be good might be the very thing that's ruining your chances of success. They told you to be good, to be honest, to be kind, to forgive. They said if you follow the rules, life will reward you. But tell me, has it? Look around you. The world is not ruled by the good. It is ruled by the clever, the strong, the bold. Those who understand that morality is a luxury, a costume that the powerful wear when it suits them. The very idea of being a good person has been twisted and fed to you like a bitter potion disguised as wine. It dulls your ambition. It pacifies your instincts. It convinces you that meekness is a virtue, when in truth, it is often a death sentence. Let us make a distinction, a crucial one. The church preaches virtue, goodness in the eyes of God, humility, mercy. These are admirable qualities for monks, for martyrs, for those who wish to suffer nobly. But these qualities are not what built empires. They are not what saved cities. They are not what preserved the legacy of Rome. What I speak of is not virtue. I speak of vert, a word with no true English equivalent. Vert is the steel behind the smile. It is boldness wrapped in intelligence. It is the ability to bend fortune to your will. A man of vert knows when to act with cruelty and when to show mercy. He knows when to deceive and when to speak plainly. He adapts like water in a storm, never fixed, never knave. And make no mistake, vert is not about being evil. It is about being effective. You see, the common man, the subject, he is taught to obey, to serve, to be morally pure even when it leads to ruin. But the prince, the ruler, the one who must govern men and shape destinies, he must live by a different code. He must understand that conventional virtue often fails in the face of realpolitik. Consider this: a ruler who insists on always being generous will soon find his treasury empty and his people ungrateful. A leader who refuses to act with severity when needed may lose control to chaos. In the pursuit of being good, he loses what matters most: stability, power, the capacity to protect those under his rule. Now ask yourself, are you trying to live as a ruler or as a subject? If you cling to the church's version of virtue, passive, yielding, blind to reality, you will be used. You will be overlooked. You will be the one who opens the door for others to pass through while you remain outside in the cold. And no one will thank you for it, but vert gives you the tools to shape the world rather than be shaped by it. It allows you to walk into a room and command attention, not by boasting, but by being deliberate, composed, unpredictable. It teaches you that strategy is more powerful than sincerity, and that outcomes, not intentions, are what history remembers. Alexander did not conquer half the world because he was kind. Caesar did not cross the Rubicon because he was doing the right thing. They understood the truth, that greatness requires a sharp edge, a willingness to go where others refuse to tread. Even religion itself, when it wished to survive, adopted vert. The popes raised armies. They brokered alliances. They played politics with kings and emperors. They did not merely pray. They acted. So understand this: when I say, stop trying to be a good person, I do not mean become cruel without cause or betray your every principle. I mean awaken to reality. I mean stop sacrificing your potential on the altar of appearances. I mean embrace the power of vert. The kind of power that moves nations, reshapes fate, and earns the respect of both allies and enemies. You can continue to follow the path of goodness and hope for mercy from a world that has none to offer. Or you can learn to wield the weapons life has given you: reason, strength, timing, influence, with the discipline of a master. Because only the fool confuses the lamb for the lion, and only the defeated cling to the illusion that goodness alone will save them. What does it cost to be a good person? Not in theory, not in sermons or school books, but in the brutal, unadorned theater of real life. What is the true price? Let us speak plainly. In the court of power, goodness is a currency that is quickly devalued. The more you spend it, the less it's worth. Why? Because in a world where most people act in their own interest, those who live by rigid moral codes become tools, predictable, exploitable, easily maneuvered. Goodness makes you soft. It makes you obvious. You become a map that others use to navigate around you, or through you. Look closely at your own life. How many times have you done the right thing and suffered for it? How often have you extended kindness only to be met with ingratitude? Offered honesty and received betrayal? Stayed loyal and been forgotten the moment you were no longer useful? You may think your suffering makes you noble, that the pain endured by being good earns you some invisible reward. But I tell you, it does not. It earns you silence, obscurity, weakness. There is a hidden cost to this goodness you worship, and it is your power. Good people rarely make hard decisions. They fear being misunderstood, hated, or judged. And so, in moments of crisis, they hesitate. They look to others for permission. They wait for fairness. Fairness is an illusion, a child's comfort blanket in a world ruled by wolves. The ruler who tries too hard to be good finds himself paralyzed. Every step must be approved. Every word must be measured against the fickle morality of the crowd. He becomes not a leader, but a slave to public opinion. He dares not offend even when offense is necessary. He dares not punish even when punishment brings order. He becomes a statue, noble in appearance, useless in function. You must understand something few dare to admit: your morality is not always yours. It has been installed by teachers, by priests, by those in power who benefit when you obey. It is a leash disguised as virtue, a chain passed from one generation to the next, keeping men tame and compliant, easier to govern, easier to manage, easier to crush. The good person apologizes for ambition. He hides his desire. He asks before he acts. He waits for others to crown him when real power is taken, not given. There is no army of saints at the top of the pyramid. There are tacticians, survivors, men and women who understood early on that being seen as good is enough, and often far more useful than being good. They understand that perception is a blade, and the masses will forgive cruelty if it wears the mask of righteousness. And while the good person clings to ideals, the powerful shape reality. While the good person suffers quietly, the cunning rises silently. While the good person waits for justice, the bold create it by force. But worst of all, the good person becomes invisible. In the market of influence, nothing is cheaper than a man who refuses to act. The one who always forgives is forgotten. The one who always sacrifices becomes expected to. The one who always listens but never asserts becomes background noise in a world that only rewards clarity, strength, and audacity. You think you are respected for your goodness, but you are not. You are pitied. And soon you are discarded. Because when danger comes, people do not look to the good. They look strong. When chaos breaks, they do not seek the pure. They seek the prepared. There is a reason the world remembers Caesar, not the priests who scolded him. There is a reason Alexander's name echoes through history, though he burned cities and spilled blood. Because the cost of being feared, if done with intelligence, is often less than the cost of being loved. And yet, you've been taught to chase love, to be agreeable, to never offend. But love is fragile. It fades with time, with distance, with rumors. Fear endures. Respect endures. Legacy endures. So when you think of being good, ask yourself, for whom? Who benefits from your obedience? Who profits from your silence? Who is promoted while you do the right thing? And watch quietly from the sidelines. Because the cost of goodness in the game of power is often everything you wanted and nothing you received. What matters more? To be good or to be seen as good? A foolish question for the common man, but for the one who seeks influence, who plays the higher game, there is only one answer. It is the appearance of goodness that moves the world. You see, men judge far more by what they see than by what truly is. Their eyes are their masters. Their understanding is shallow. They cannot peer into your soul, but they can watch your posture, your smile, your words. And so, if you learn to control how you are perceived, you control the narrative, you control your destiny. This is the great secret. The world does not demand that you are good. It merely demands that you look like you are. What does this mean? It means you can lie. If you lie with elegance, you can deceive. If the result is wrapped in virtue, you can manipulate. If the surface is polished with the right moral shine. And if you do it well, the world will not only forgive you, it will praise you. Understand, people hunger for heroes. They crave symbols. They are not searching for truth, for certainty, for the comfort of believing someone out there represents justice, strength, or kindness. If you offer that illusion, they will follow you even into the dark. It is not your purity that wins the crowd. It is your performance. The masses do not remember the contents of your heart. They remember the spectacle of your actions. If you speak of peace while crushing your enemies, they will call you a peacemaker. If you preach humility while hoarding wealth, they will call you wise. If you commit brutality for the sake of order and wrap it in the language of duty, they will say you are noble. To be truly good is difficult. It demands sacrifice, restraint, and suffering. And often, it leads to ruin. But to appear good, that is an art. And it is one that every successful ruler, politician, merchant, and manipulator has mastered, whether they admit it or not. Why do you think leaders surround themselves with charities, children, churches? Not always out of love, because these things are mirrors, reflecting goodness onto them, regardless of their true motives. They understand the stage. They understand that reputation is armor. A carefully constructed image can protect even the most ruthless mind. It can make cruelty look like courage. It can make betrayal feel like a principle. This is why you must never waste time trying to please everyone with your sincerity. Instead, learn to wear masks that serve you. Be many things to many people. Let the moralists believe you're one of them. Let the rebels think you understand their anger. Let your enemies believe you are gentle until you strike. But remember, the illusion must be maintained. The mask must be convincing. A false step, a crack in the performance, and the crowd turns on you. That is why you must be disciplined, deliberate, and always aware of the role you are playing. A prince must know when to show mercy, not because he feels it, but because the moment demands it. He must appear generous in times of prosperity, even if he is calculating. He must mourn publicly when necessary, even if his heart is unmoved. You must not think of this as deception. Think of it as a strategy. The world's a stage, and most of its audience are asleep. Hypnotized by image, unaware of the strings being pulled behind the curtain, your task is not to wake them. Your task is to master the illusion. Think of the lion. Fierce, dominant, respected. Yet even the lion must move silently at times, concealing his presence before the kill. His strength is not diminished by his stealth, it is enhanced by it. So too with power. Never forget that appearance is a weapon. Your smile can hide the blade. Your words can conceal your will. Your posture can win trust before it is broken. And when you act, when the time comes for real decisions, real consequences, the people will not resist you. They will not question your motives. Because they have already decided who you are. They will defend your image, even as you act against their interests. They will forgive what they would condemn in others. Why? Because you are the good one, so they believe. And belief is the strongest force of all. To rule, to lead, to dominate in the realm of men, you must master the art of duality. It is not enough to be good, nor is it enough to be evil. These are simple, crude identities, suited for the knave. No, the one who commands destiny must be both. Must carry the light in one hand and the blade in the other. Must know how to heal and how to destroy. Not out of contradiction, but out of strategy. You must be willing to act with kindness when kindness serves your ends, and to abandon it when it weakens your grip. You must know how to speak to the hearts of the people with sincerity, even when you are lying through your teeth. And when the time comes, when mercy would cost you everything, you must summon the ruthlessness that good men cannot bear to imagine. This is the dual nature of power. This is the double face of the prince. You were taught to choose. To pick a side, light or dark, virtue or vice. You were told that to mix the two is corruption. But I say this, to live only in virtue is to be broken by those who do not, and to live only in vice is to be torn apart by your own chaos. Balance is the weapon. Duality is the throne. A ruler who is only good becomes predictable, soft, a toy for sharper minds. His people may love him, but his enemies do not fear him. And eventually, neither do his allies. They begin to take liberties. They whisper behind closed doors. They sense that he is unwilling to do what must be done. And soon, he is replaced, mourned by many, respected by none. A ruler who is only feared becomes hated. He burns too hot. His reign grows brittle. Paranoia takes root, enemies multiply in the dark, and his fall is celebrated with fire. No, the wise man knows when to shift, when to wear the mask of the saint, and when to reveal the fangs of the wolf. He does not marry any single version of himself. He uses all of them. He becomes a mirror, a chameleon, a strategist of the self. To the public, he is generous, articulate, compassionate. He builds hospitals, praises poets, and gives gold to the poor. But in the silence of the council chamber, he does not hesitate to remove a threat. He does not weep when justice demands blood. He understands that the prosperity of many sometimes requires the silence of a few. This is not hypocrisy. It is supremacy. The world is not ruled by those who cling to a single identity. It is ruled by those who bend identity like metal, forging whatever shape the moment requires. They are not bound by one face, one morality, one path. They walk all paths. They use all weapons. When betrayal is necessary, they do it cleanly. When forgiveness gains more ground, they offer it generously. When the people need reassurance, they play the protector. When fear must be restored, they become monsters. Think of the fox and the lion. The fox sees the trap. The lion frightens the wolves. One without the other is doomed. The fox without the lion is clever, but weak. The lion without the fox is strong, but blind. Together they are complete. Together they are unstoppable. So too must you become both. And yet, most people recoil from this truth. They call it manipulation. They say it's immoral. But these are the cries of the powerless. Those who cling to purity while being devoured by those who don't. You must rise above this. You must see that moral rigidity is a form of slavery, a shackle placed on your wrist by those who benefit from your obedience. To master duality is to break free, to choose the right version of yourself for every situation, to smile with sincerity and strike with precision. In the same breath, the prince who thrives is not the one who clings to ideals like a drowning man clings to driftwood. It is the one who uses ideals when convenient and discards them when they no longer serve. He is not one thing. He is everything. Shadow and light, fire and water, mask and dagger. The people do not need to know what you are. They only need to believe what you show them. Let them see a just ruler, a benevolent soul, a protector of virtue. Let them believe this so deeply that they never even think to look beneath the surface. And beneath that surface, build your fortress of duality. So now you understand. This world, the one ruled not by saints, but by strategists, does not reward your innocence. It rewards your clarity, your ability to see men for what they are, not what they pretend to be. It rewards your skill to move through this theater of virtue with a heart that is neither knave nor cruel, but calculated. You were told to be good, to obey, to comply, to live in chains disguised as morality. But I tell you, stop trying to be a good person. Be a wise one. Be a dangerous one. Be the one who knows when to wear the mask and when to wield the sword behind it. Appear virtuous when it serves you. Act with principle when it strengthens your position. But never mistake goodness for power. Goodness is admired. Power is obeyed. In the end, it is not the pure who rise. It is those who understand the game and have the courage to play it well. And you were not born to kneel. You were born to rule.